This evening we shall be studying the remaining 7 verses of the Gita. That will be completing the study of this great book. Last Sunday we saw the statement by Sri Krishna saying that this subject must be communicated to people, and it is a blessed act, this type of communication. And then he said, if a person does so, it becomes a jnana yajna, sacrifice of jnana. In that connection I have said, the Gita places great emphasis on jnana yajna. Yajna yajna, things you offer to fire. This is more important than them. Jnana yajna, how the mind is being shaped in the light of great ideas and ideals, how the mind is lifted when there is a tendency to go down, and how the mind grasps ideas, communicates them to others for the good of all. All this will constitute jnana yajna. That was very much spoken about by Sri Krishna in the 4th chapter and here in the end of this Gita discourse. So at the end of it, they will attain the highest liberation by listening to this teaching, by communicating the teaching to others, by living it. They will all attain the highest spiritual development. Having said this, in verse 71, we come to verse 72. Krishna is telling Arjuna directly now, Kachid etat shrutam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasa kachid ajnana sammoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. Arjuna, did you listen to me, to all this talk that I gave just now? He is asking, Kachit eta shrutam partha. Did you hear what all I said now? These several minutes, must have taken several hours even. Tvaya ekagrena chetasa. By your one-pointed mind. Did you listen to me? Krishna is asking. Similarly, Kachit ajnana sammoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. You had ignorance and delusion. Have they been destroyed now? That is the first question. In the 2nd chapter, when you begin this Gita discourse, you will find Arjuna telling Krishna, I am confused. My mind is deluded. Last Sunday also I referred to it, verse 7, that Karpanya dosho bahatas sabhavaha prachami tvam dharma sammodha chetaha. My mind is deluded as to what is my duty at this time. Dharma sammodha chetaha. 2 good options are there. Both are good and very difficult to choose between this and that. I am confused. Yat shreyasyat nishchitam tan bruhitan me. Whatever is really good to me, for my welfare, decide it and tell it to me. Shishyasteham, I am your disciple. Shadhimam, please teach me. Tvam prapannam, I have taken recourse to your superior wisdom. My wisdom has failed me now. That is how Arjuna has said, in the second chapter, 7th verse, which brought from Krishna all this discourse, which we studied all these later 17 chapters. First chapter is only the context of the Gita. Teachings begin in the second chapter. So we continue for all the 17 chapters. Now Krishna is telling, have you heard it carefully? He says, Kachid etat shrutam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasa. With concentrated mind, did you listen to what all I said? And then Kachid ajnana sammoha pranashraste dhananjaya. Has your ajnana sammoha, ignorance and delusion, they go together. Wherever there is ignorance, there is also delusion. So they go together. Have they been removed from your mind? Is the question Krishna is asking. That is the last statement of Krishna in the Gita. Now Arjuna is answering. A beautiful answer. Arjuna uvacha nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadat mayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. He had earlier told Arjuna, I have told you the highest philosophy. Now decide for yourself. Yathechasi tatha kuru. Whatever you think proper, you do. Krishna had given him full freedom. Arjuna is now telling, Nashto moha. My delusion has vanished. Smritir labdha. I have a steady mind. My memory has become steady. In delusion, you lose memory. When memory becomes steady, delusion goes away. Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadat maya achyuta. Through your grace, O Krishna, all this delusion has been shattered by your teaching. Sthitosmi. I am now steady. See the mind. Otherwise, mind is unsteady. The sthita idea has been repeated again and again. At the end of the second chapter, we have a whole exposition of a sthita prajna, a man of steady wisdom. What a wonderful idea that this human mind which is so unsteady, we can make it steady. We got to train it in that steadiness. That is how men and women develop that given psychic energy system to develop a highly steady, illumined buddhi, that wonderful reason, enlightened reason. That's what we saw at the end of the second chapter. Sthitosmi gata sandeha. My doubts are gone. Sandeha means doubt. Gata sandeha. Finally, karishye vachanam tava. I shall do what you have asked me to do. I have no other judgment now. I am fully satisfied. Karishye vachanam tava. Krishna told him, Uttishtha, stand up, face up to the situations around you. That's what he has said in the very beginning of the second chapter. Why this weakness? Why this chicken-heartedness at this difficult situation? Throw it away, all this unworthy attitude. Stand up, face up to your problem. That is a great message coming from the beginning of the second chapter. To make Arjuna understand it and follow it, all this teaching was needed. And so, we seek philosophy in order to give us guidance in day-to-day life. A philosophy of life, very important. It doesn't mean any academic philosophy, not at all. Something by which you put your little actions of life in the context of a profound thought, a profound idea, a profound ideal. We put all of them together. Then you get a philosophy to guide your life in action. It is good to have such an ideal. Perfect or imperfect doesn't matter. A man with ideal may make 100 mistakes, but a man without an ideal will make 1,000 mistakes, Vivekananda said. So keep some ideology with you, a philosophy with you. Make it as perfect as possible. Arjuna had a Krishna to give him the best of philosophy. We may take the help of this same teaching and thus frame each one his or her own philosophy of life and correct it whenever you find better wisdom coming to you. But do have a philosophy by which you will live. Don't be ad hoc day-to-day life. That is very, very dull. There's no creativity in it. That's the concept of philosophy so far as human life is concerned. Have a philosophy of life. Philosophy we resort to resolve our doubts. Lot of doubts come when you actually begin to live. A baby has no doubts. First day, second day, no doubts. Slowly as it grows, problems come, doubts come, difficulties come. Then it seeks knowledge, and more precise knowledge. And the wider the sphere of knowledge, the better that baby will be able to live. In this way you can see human development going on from birth throughout life. Whole of experience is there to open up new avenues of thinking for you, provided the mind is active. If the mind is dead, you become the same thing again and again. Nothing new will come to you. Don't be dead, mentally speaking. Be fresh in your mind. That is a wonderful idea. Many people, they become dead mentally, sometimes very early in life. After you become a householder, getting 1 or 2 children, you will find the mind has become dead. No further growth at all. The rest of 30, 40 years of life is only static life, nothing new. Today, young people, therefore, do not consider an older person as more wise than oneself. Person may say, I have lived 40 years more than you, I am wiser than you. And the son or daughter can say, you have repeated first year 40 times, that's all your life. You have not done anything new. That repetitive life is not creative, because the mind is dead. That should be avoided. Mind must be alive, creative. A zest must be there in mind. That is the best thing we can do. Body goes on, getting older, may die away. But why the mind? I shall keep it fresh, steady. It is there you will find that thoughtfulness comes. There's a real meaning of the word manushya. Ramakrishna used to play on this word, manush. Manhush is manush, he said. Jiska hush man mein hai, wo manush hai. Jiska hush khali sharir mein hai, pet mein hai, wo to manush nahi hai. That's an animal, in every sense of the term. So manhush, that way, live in the mind. Mind is alert. So, we seek from philosophy guidance to day-to-day life. And when do you want guidance? When you are living, not when you are about to die. That's why when people take to this higher thinking and higher religion towards the end of life, just on the deathbed, what is the use? You can't make use of that teaching at this time. Only a ticket to heaven you can get at this time. But if you get it early enough, the whole life is there to guide. Your philosophy will help you to guide yourself and correct your mistakes. Make yourself more and more perfect. So, these young days we must get, when you are full of animal energy within you. That's the time we need to guide this tremendous energy towards the goal of human fulfillment, individual and collective. That's the importance. Ihaiva, now alone. Throughout Vedanta you will find this emphasis. If religion means only a ticket to heaven, certainly we will tell everybody, don't run after religion till you are about to die. Then you will get a ticket and you go. But religion means living a fuller life, life in the mind. What a beautiful idea. When I am young and vigorous, religion comes to me, philosophy comes to me to guide me to the highest level of fulfillment, individual and collective. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that greatest book of bhakti, there is a story of the little boy, Prahlada, a great devotee, 5-year-old boy. He is addressing his fellow students in the school when the teacher had been away. There he says this, Kaumara acharet pratnyo dharman bhagavataniha durlabham manusham deham Tadapi adhruvam arthadam. What a beautiful sentence. Coming from how many? 1,000, 2,000 years ago. And it looks very fresh today. This little boy says, Kaumara acharet pratnyo dharman bhagavatan iha. In this life, iha, in this world, let us practice the Bhagavata dharmas from our childhood itself. Kaumara, when we are young, below 12. What are the Bhagavata dharmas? That infinite Atman is my true nature, that divine. And he is the nature of all others as well. We are all one in the divine that is within. So we practice love, compassion, spirit of service, not aggression, not violence, not destroying other people. That's called Bhagavata Dharma, which is expounded in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Gita also, it is the same Bhagavata Dharma. So begin this when you are young, when there is plenty of energy. Kaumara acharet pratnyo dharman bhagavatan iha. Iha means here, in this world, in society, in this body, all this it means. Why? It's wonderful. It is very rare to get a human body. Even if you get it, it's not going to stay all the time. Any moment it may go. A sense of urgency comes. That is importance that Prahlada attaches to it. Kaumara acharet pratnyo dharman bhagavataniha durlabham manusham deham. Human body is very rare. Among how many millions of species of living things in the world? The human species is only about 4,000 million, whereas one insect species alone will be 4,000 million. So human life is very rare. Having got it, don't think it is going to last forever. Any moment it may go. Durlabham manusham deham tadapi adhruvam. It's not steady. It's not always there. Any moment it may go. But arthadam, put it to good use, it will give you the best of results. The greatest blessing will come to you if you put this life to good use. Therefore, Prahlada says, young days are the days when we have to have a philosophy, try to live it according to it. Ill or well doesn't matter. We can correct ourselves. Mistakes are not going to trouble you. Should not trouble you. That is one of the troubles of our people. Our people think, oh, if I do that, I will make mistake. Therefore, best thing is keep quiet. Don't do anything. Our philosophy is always keep quiet. If you do anything, it will be trouble. Somebody will criticize you, so don't do. Keep quiet. That's the idea. That is wrong. Better to do. And if some criticism come, take them, study, correct yourself. If not, ignore it. That's all. But better to do, better to do. That conclusion must come. Why should I not do at all? A lazy life. That should not be. So, do. Correct yourself. That positive attitude must come. So he said, arthadam. You will get great benefit out of that effort. In this very life, you will feel, yes, I have achieved what ought to be achieved, being born as a human being. I have lifted my life from the organic level to a higher level. I can see my oneness with all. I feel happy when others are happy. I feel suffering when others are suffering. I have broken away from my isolation, from that limitation of my organic system. Now that is the spiritual growth and expansion of the human personality. This can be achieved here and now, feeling oneness with all. What a beautiful idea. Why should I remain in this prison of the organic system? I am a prisoner there. The body is a good instrument, a good servant, but a bad master. If the body becomes my master, I never grow beyond the animal level. Let me make the body my servant. Something else is there in me to grow. All this will come to you when you begin to seek for a philosophy of life, for development. When doubts come, we turn to that philosophy. Let me see how it works. So we read other books also, other experiences. How did that person face this problem? We ask that question. That's very good. Mahajano yena gatassa pantha. It's a beautiful expression in the scriptures. What is the way? The way trodden by great minds we can also go on that line. So they are example to us, to guide to us. So when the mind is alive and active, it takes in nourishment from every experience. But it must be a live mind. If a plant is alive, it will take nourishment from the soil and air. If it is dead, it doesn't take anything. Human mind is just the same. So Arjuna is telling, what is the function of philosophy? To remove doubts and confusion, to give you a definite line of life and action. That is what philosophy does to you. It doesn't do anything more. It is a light only to show you a path. The rest is your movement. Where from does it come? Your own emotional strength. With that, you start on your journey. Go on, go on. Whenever doubts come, turn to philosophy. Like a lamp, hold it to find your way through a thicket, through a difficult path. So Arjuna had that experience. Krishna has presented him with a philosophy of life. Remember that word. Not philosophy after life. When your life is all ebbed out, why do you don't need philosophy at that time. So when a river has flown away, all the water is gone. What's the use of putting a dam there? Absolutely no meaning at all. So when there is energy in the body, I can shape it. When there is no energy in the body, there is no question of shaping it at all. You don't need any philosophy, any technique for handling yourself, because that time there is no energy. So when there is full energy, then I can do something. Therefore, from young days, a little such inspiration must come. Then you can make a steady march. The word steady comes there. Sthita prajna, mind becomes steady. Feet also are steady. If the mind is wobbling, feet also will wobble, just like a spider's movement, not steady at all. So the mind should not wobble, then the body also will cease wobbling. Steady march, steady thinking. All this is the fruit of a really well-developed philosophical conviction. It doesn't require any kind of textbook philosophy, no academic philosophy, living philosophy by which we live. And as I said, correct it, enrich it day by day. So, nashto moha smritil labdha tat prasadad mayachyuta. A great teacher gives a discourse. Student receives it, gets a great blessing out of it, removes the confusion. How much we respect that teacher. He has given us the greatest gift, knowledge itself. Knowledge is the greatest gift in all our literature. If a man pays a small money, a packet of money, or a little bit of knowledge, a good person will say, I want that knowledge, not your money. Money comes and goes. Tomorrow it will be all finished. Knowledge will make me live a better and better life. That is more important than getting a small amount of money. If somebody has paid some money today, he can just go to the drinking shop and finish the whole thing in 5 minutes. Nothing will be left there. But knowledge will help him for all time. Sarve dhana is, knowledge is the supreme dhana, according to the Sanskrit shloka. So no wealth can equal the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of wisdom. That is what Arjuna is getting from Krishna, wisdom, how to conduct life in this difficult situation, how to negotiate one's life through all these difficult situations. So, Thitos me, gata sandeha, karishye vachanam tava. I shall follow what line you have chosen for me. I fully accept it with understanding. Not because you said so, but I understand, therefore I follow. Krishna doesn't want a mere mute follower. He wants intelligent followers. The greater the teacher, the greater is the freedom given to the student to think for oneself. The smaller the teacher, the less that freedom. You have to follow simply what the teacher tells you. Ramakrishna compares teachers to a type of snake. Water snake, cobra. 2 types of snake are there. One is water snake. So he says in the Gospel, I was passing by the Ganga, I heard a croaking sound of a frog, very painful. When I went near, I found a small water snake has caught hold of a big frog. He cannot swallow it, he won't eject it, both are in trouble. Similarly, the case of guru and disciple. A disciple, quite intelligent, quite strong, and the Guru is very ordinary. That Guru has caught hold of him, both are in trouble. Then he said, if a cobra had caught hold of it, in 5 minutes it would have been all over. All problems would have been solved. That is the nature of a Guru who gives you freedom to live according to your own in the light of the knowledge that you have gained. That is what Krishna is. That's what Shankaracharya was, Ramakrishna was. What tremendous freedom comes to you along with the spiritual teaching. Freedom is essential for human growth. Vedanta constantly emphasizes that point. In that lecture in Madras, he said, freedom is the one condition of growth. Take away freedom, man's growth can never take place at all. That is the language of Vedanta. Having said this, the actual Gita discourse between Arjuna and Krishna, that dialogue ends here. The dialogue of Krishna and Arjuna ends here. Krishna never speaks the remaining verses, Arjuna never speaks the remaining verses. But the man who reports all this, Sanjaya, he has something to say. And the Gita ends with those few verses uttered by Sanjaya. When we studied the first chapter, we saw the Sanjaya coming into the picture. Dhritarashtra, the blind king, is sitting in the palace in Hastinapura, near Delhi. About 100 miles away, the Kurukshetra battle is to begin. That is Kurukshetra. This king wants to know what is going on. Vyasa comes on the scene, the great sage, gives Sanjaya the power to visualize what is going on, those sitting in the palace in Hastinapura. Divya Drishti was given to Sanjaya. So he could see without any modern television, purely from mind alone, he could manage that kind of a reporting of experience. And the whole thing is a report by Sanjaya. So the book began with Dhritarashtra's question, and in our questions again, what happened on the field of battle, O Sanjaya, between my children and Pandava brothers? What happened there? That is the first question. Then Sanjaya begins to answer. Now, in the concluding portion, Sanjaya is telling Dhritarashtra in the palace, says, Sanjaya Uvacha, very beautiful. He goes into ecstasy in these concluding remarks. Ityaham Vasudevasya Parthasya cha Mahatmanaha Samvadam imam ashrausham Adbhutam Romaharshanam. Thus, I could hear the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Ityaham Vasudevasya Parthasya. Vasudeva is Krishna, Partha is Arjuna. Sasya Mahatmanaha. Arjuna was a great soul person. Mahatmanaha. Samvadam imam ashrausham. This conversation, samvada means conversation, dialogue. Ashrausham, I heard. What kind of conversation? Adbhutam, a wonderful dialogue. Romaharshanam, horripilation of the body. When you are hearing all this, such an amount of joy you feel, your whole hair stand on end. Romaharshanam. This is the first remark of Sanjaya. Then next one, still further, it goes. Vyasa prasadat shrutavan imam guhyatamam param yogam yogeshwarat prokta sakshat kathayata swayam. I could get this opportunity to listen to this tremendous dialogue through the grace of Vyasa. Vyasa prasadat shrutavan. He gave me the power to sit in the palace in Hastinapura and see and report what is going on currently on the field of Kurukshetra over 100 miles away. Vyasat prasada shrutavan. He says, Imam guhyatamam param, the supremely profound guhyatamam. As I often say here, in Sanskrit, comparative and superlative are indicated by a word taram and tamam. Guhyataram is comparatively greater. Guhyatamam is supremely greater, the best. So taratamam. So it is called taratamya, means comparison in Sanskrit. Guhyatamam, profoundest message I heard, sitting here in the palace. What is that? What you heard? Yogam, that great philosophy of yoga. What did Krishna teach Arjuna? the philosophy of yoga. That's all. Simplest word. The whole message of these 18 chapters is conveyed in that one simple word, yogam. So that's why it is a rich word. Though most people understand by yoga only physical exercise, nothing else they understand. But they don't know what a tremendous dimension of yoga is there. So in the Gita, you get that wonderful spiritual, philosophical dimension of the teaching of yoga. And people are eager for it. I have seen people beginning with exercise. Is there anything still higher? They don't know. When they hear it, they are very much fascinated. Yogam. This is yoga. That's why when I first went to Holland during my 4 months Government of India sponsored lecture tour of 17 European countries in 61, I went to Holland, met some friends there, made friends with them. They came to India also, one Dr. Rama Polderman and others. They were all doing yoga there, physical exercise. They got a yoga association, Stichting Yoga Nederland, organization for yoga in Holland. They were conducting all over Holland. Then came 1970, 61 and 70. I went to Geneva. From there I went to Holland. They told me, Swamiji, next year we all want you to come here to conduct a yoga week. They asked me, a yoga week. I immediately said, I don't take interest in yoga week. Yoga and all that is not for me. So please forget it. You manage yourself. No, but we want you very badly. Then I merely said a hint. If you want the philosophical and spiritual dimension of yoga, I am prepared to come. That's what we want. He said, we didn't know about it. We want that very thing. Please come. I said, okay, I shall come. Then what happened? In 71, I went. Imagine, up to 86, I've been continuously going every year. Recently, only due to some physical weakness, I could not go. But the work is still going on there. Every year, wonderful. And that first year, 71, mind you, it's a new experience for them and for me. They took up a whole hotel in Oosterbeek, eastern side of Holland, close to German border. The river Rhine is just behind there. A beautiful village near Arnhem. About 60 people had come, men, women, all, living in the hotel, and every day, morning, evening, classes, discussions, meditations, everything. Took up Upanishad and Gita at that time. I cannot convey to you in words their experience. Something extraordinary we felt, they said. We were doing all these exercises. We didn't know this tremendous philosophical dimension of yoga, so rational, so practical, and you can question. 1 hour lecture means 2 hours questions. Every type of question. I said, yes, ask anything you like. If I know, I will tell. If I don't know, I will tell. You can try to know for yourself. In this way, the whole week passed. Then, when they had the final session for farewell, they are all distinguished people, doctors, professors, and housewives, all were there. They wanted to say a few words of thanks. As they started speaking, their voice was choked, tears came, and they had to stop practically. That was the feeling that people had on that occasion. And so next year, going on every year, now Vedanta Society has come. They changed it to Yoga Vedanta Institute. Originally only yoga. Then they put the word Vedanta. Stichting Yoga Vedanta Nederland. A magazine was there, Yoga Nederland. They changed it to Yoga Vedanta Nederland. And now a Ramakrishna Vedanta Society has come in Amsterdam. A Swamiji has gone from here, invited by those people. A regular ashrama has started there. What a wonderful change you will find. Hundreds of people devoted to this kind of thinking. And so, this idea of a dialogue on yoga. Krishna spent all this time to give Arjuna a message of yoga. And not only in Holland, in German towns like Berlin, Dortmund, when we take the Gita, even one chapter, they say something extraordinary. We have not heard these things at all. Their religion means everything is finished and a few dogmas and creeds. You cannot question. No questioning at all in religion. That's all that they have seen for how many? 1600 years. Their experience. Now something new. You can question, you try to understand. It's not a dogma. It's a truth about you. Truth about the world around you. So that is the reaction that they had to this dimension of yoga. And India has it in the Gita. And yet we never utilize this yoga at all. How to train this mind? How to bring out the possibilities hidden within all of us? Tremendous possibilities are there. The whole science of yoga is a science of human possibilities. That science we do not know anything. We will end it up ringing a bell, breaking a coconut, doing some mantra, pay some money to a priest to say mantra, that is all. Nothing more. The whole of religion was ended there. And the result is, we are very pious, very religious, but our minds are very weak. It has no confidence, it has no strength, it has no compassion. It became narrow, sectarian. All this happened here. Now comes Vivekananda, opening up this tremendous inspiration from the Upanishads, from the Gita. Work out your salvation, and you will get the strength to work out the salvation of others as well. The whole nation can be raised to a higher level, and the whole world is getting the same blessing. So here you have yoga without any kind of mysterious association. Everything is mystery for our minds. Magic, miracle, mystery. Yoga means all that. As soon as you travel in a train, somebody will say, Swamiji, can you see my hand? I don't know ABC. I will see the backside of your hand. I will say, we don't know all this. But that is all what they understand by yoga. Anybody can do it. You will pay plenty of money also. And we went on, weakening the whole nation in spite of this strengthening philosophy taught by a hero to another hero. Teacher is hero, student is hero, Krishna and Arjuna. And we are small-minded people. What we understand of this? Swamiji said, therefore, can a mosquito understand the strength of a lion? Only a lion or a tiger can understand. You cannot understand the strength of a Krishna unless some strength is there. So that weakness must go. Physical weakness, mental weakness. Then open the Gita. Profound philosophy will come. That is the yoga. You get here, nothing magic, nothing miracle, none of this, except miracle of character. Tremendous clarity of thinking, character, efficiency of work, hard work, all this will come out of this. That is the lesson we have to learn. So, Sanjaya is not telling anything extraordinary when he said, when I heard this wonderful message, yogam, that's what I heard. Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Kathayata Swayam. Spoken by that Yogeshwara, the master of yoga, that is Krishna himself. Sakshat, by the very Krishna. He is conveying this message to Arjuna. And I got the opportunity to listen to it. Sanjaya's experience is repeated in hundreds of cases in modern world. In India as well as abroad. More abroad than here. Because to us everything is familiar, so everything becomes meaningless. That's our condition. Whereas in the West, everything is fresh. We are in search for it. We are not in search yet. So the difference between the two. A valuable thing has value when you search for it. If it comes to you just like it, oh, in my house it is there. Krishna is there in my house, a picture is there, book is there. I have nothing more to do. That is how we don't know the value of any of these things. Unlike the West. They don't have all this. When they hear it, really we appreciate it. We want it. We'll try to live it as far as we can. That practical orientation, they develop with respect to the Gita. And the Gita itself is a practical orientation of the philosophy of the Upanishads. That is very high philosophy. Krishna takes out the essence, gives you in practical form that philosophy. That is Gita, the best book of practical Vedanta in the language of Swami Vivekananda. So here is that great verse. Vyasa prasada shrutavan imam guhyatamam param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat sakshat kathayata swayam. Sakshat Bhagavan Sri Krishna is speaking about it and I am here listening to it. What a wonderful experience it is, Sanjaya is telling. And the next sloka he goes one step higher, greater joy. He says, Rajan samsmritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjunayoha punyam rishyamicha muhurmuhu. O king, addressing Dhritarashtra, Rajan samsmritya, remembering again and again. What is that? He says, this wonderful and holy dialogue between Keshava and Arjuna, Krishna and Arjuna, I rejoice again and again. Repetition, actual experience it is. And exactly I am telling you, a German youth in Berlin public lecture, after the lecture I just go down, he comes to me with such feeling looking at my face. Swamiji, you said something wonderful today. I have never heard it in my whole lifetime. What is that? A spark of divine in every human being. The central teaching of Vedanta. I have never heard it. But when I heard it, I found it wonderful. I am very much captivated by the teaching. I want to know more. That is how he was looking at me. How can I forget that face? That face is just an expression of Sanjaya's experience here. Rajan samsmritya says, this wonderful teaching, Rupam, he says, Samvadam imam adbhutam. First about dialogue. I heard it, I am enjoying it again and again. Again and again is the word used here. Now he refers to his experience in the 11th chapter, when he saw Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshana. That he refers to it in the next verse. He says, Tatcha samsmritya rupam atyadbhutam harehe vismayo me mahan rajan hrishyamicha punah punaha. That wonderful form I saw of the divine Sri Krishna at that time on the battlefield. Tatcha samsmritya, when I remember that again and again, Rupam atyadbhutam harehe, Hari's extraordinary form, that divine form, Vishwarupa form, which has inspired many people even in modern times. That Oppenheimer, the famous nuclear scientist, when he saw the testing of the first atom bomb in the desert of America and that big fire going up in the sky, he remembered only a verse of that 11th chapter of the Gita. If 1,000 suns were to rise on the eastern sky at the same time, that glow will be nothing compared to the glow of this divine form. So he saw the same thing there. So if 1,000 suns were to rise at the same time in the sky, what will be the condition? What tremendous illumination will be there? He said that. So here also, Sanjaya is saying, Tatcha samsmritya rupam atyadbhutam harehe, Hari's highly wonderful form. Vismayo me mahan rajan, my wonder is extraordinary. Vismaya, mahan, great is my wonder, great is my wonder. And hrishyamicha punah punaha, I am full of joy, experiencing it again and again. Hrishyamicha punah punaha. One scene we can never forget. That is divine experience. Hrishyamicha punah punaha. Having said this from experience, Sanjaya is telling a conclusion. If this Gita teaching, the yoga of the Gita, is understood, implemented by a person, by a society, by a nation, what blessings will come to that person, that society and that nation? He is giving that estimate in the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita. And I like this verse immensely. It says, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutihi, Dhruva Netar Matir Mama. Yatra, where? Yogeshwara Krishna, where there is Krishna, the master of yoga, where there is Arjuna, the wielder of the bow. Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. He had that bow always in his hand. The great archer he was. That means a man of action. Literally it means a tremendous heroic man of action, a hero of action, you can say. And Krishna, a great calm personality, full of wisdom within, full of compassion for humanity. That is a great teacher. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanudharaha, Tatra. In that place, in that family, in that society, in that nation, Tatra. What blessings you will find? First, Shri, prosperity, welfare will be there. That's called Shri. What is Ashri? The opposite of Shri, poverty, dismal conditions of life, all that is called Ashri. The other is Shri, good conditions of life, no poverty, no dirt, none of this is there. There is lighting on the roads, lighting in the house, clean clothes are there, all that is called Shri. Ramakrishna used to say, in every house in the front, a light must be burning. That is a Shri in that house. If there no light is there, there is Ashri, he used to say. A little light must be burning in front of the house. So generally in our houses we keep a lamp burning, a small wick lamp at least we keep. So Shri is the first blessing that will come from the combination of the energies of Krishna and Arjuna in a character, in a society, in a nation. See the first statement, Tatra Shri. Then comes next, Vijayo, success. Do some work, take an undertaking, you succeed in it. Otherwise, if this energy is not there, you go on doing failure, going on. But this energy combination makes for success. Tatra Shri, Vijayo, Bhuti means prosperity. Good prosperity everywhere. Dhruva Nitihi, constant ethical attitude, constant justice and righteousness in society. That is the third fruit. So Shri, Bhuti, Tatra Shri, Vijaya, Bhuti, Niti. Four things are mentioned here. Economic prosperity, Tatra Shri. Vijaya, success in all undertakings. Bhuti, again that higher concept of welfare, state welfare. And finally, Niti, ethical sense, moral awareness. No need for closing the door even. Nobody will steal. Why? Why not? Long ago we had that situation. According to Greek ambassadors writing about India in the 4th century BC, here nobody closes the door and locks. Everything is open. There is no theft. You can only dream of it now. It was there some time ago. When I was a student, you could keep all the books, instrument boxes all on the table and go away. Come in the evening, it will be still there. Today, 5 minutes later, everything is gone. We are so progressive. What you call the Reich's progress, as we call it. Something is wrong in the human system. That dharma element has gone. Everything else is there. A concern for others, a respect for oneself, a sense of honor, a sense of self-respect. We have lost. Why? Love of money. Love of money can destroy every virtue in a human being. All love can be destroyed when there is love of money. That is what is now afflicting Indian society. The whole thing will be reversed when a fraction of this yoga inspires the people of this country. Just a fraction. And Krishna said it in the 2nd chapter. When he began this discourse on the yoga, he said, Svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a little of this dharma will save us from great fear, he has said. It's not all or nothing. Even a little is good. That's the idea. So he says, Tatra Shri, Vijayo, Bhuti, prosperity, Dhruva Niti, constant ethical attitude, constant justice and righteousness in society. In recent times after independence, the greatest loss has been destruction of justice in society. Injustice rules supreme every level of society in India today. Injustice. Law is there, courts are there, judgments are there. But law and justice have become so far apart. A thing is lawful but not just. because law can be purchased with money. Justice cannot be purchased with money. Our people must realize this truth. A society is progressive where law and justice coincide. Whatever is judged as correct by the court is also just from every point of view. How does that come? When you ask that question, you get the answer in that word dharma. Wherever there is dharma, law becomes coincidental with justice. Wherever there is no dharma, law goes its own way, justice goes its own way. Today, in the absence of dharma attitude, law is there, justice is not there. Justice is completely, almost eliminated from our public life. So we must make for a situation where law and justice will coincide. The word dharma comes there. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, you will find a beautiful passage. This value called dharma was introduced into human personality by the creator of the universe itself. Dharma is embedded in every one of us. What is the importance of dharma? By dharma, the weak becomes equal to the strong. That is the meaning of dharma. See the definition. Normally, the weak is weak, the strong is strong. But when dharma comes in, the weak becomes equal to the strong. What a beautiful idea. A weak person and a strong person. Dharma comes there. That person says, yes, I cannot do this against you. I am debarred from doing it because of this consciousness of justice. Therefore, an ordinary person can file a suit against the government and win in that suit. Government is all powerful. How does he win? Dharma. If dharma is not there, you can never win. Only the strong will win. The moneyed will win. But dharma is there, no such thing will take place. The weak and the strong become equal only when there is dharma. That dharma, if it goes away from society, justice becomes a sham. Law becomes a sham. And we are passing through that stage just now. So here, the energies of Krishna and Arjuna must combine together in a society. What are these energies? Ordinarily we can say energy of vision, energy of action. These two must go together. Krishna was not a man of action in the Mahabharata war. He only was a driver. He never took part in the war. In the beginning you will find the preparation for war. At that time, Duryodhana and Arjuna approached Krishna for his help. Krishna said, I can give you a lot of armies, or I can give you myself. Which do you want? Duryodhana said, I want only army, I don't want you, I want army. So he took away Krishna's army. Arjuna said, I don't want army, I want you. Be my charioteer. Don't fight at all in the war. That was Krishna's status in the Mahabharata war. Not at all doing, but only guiding. How to go this way, that way, chariot of life has to be taken. That's what he did. So that Krishna, the man of vision, farsight and foresight, and then tremendous energy of implementation. Arjuna, man of action, hero of action. These must combine together in any nation if you want to achieve these blessings. Sri, Vijaya, Bhuti, Dhruvaniti. That is the message to India. From this Gita, philosophy of yoga, combine these two. Think deep, think far ahead, and work hard. Implement these two in yourself, in a personality. Practical efficiency is essential. Then only great things will come. Merely thinking, meditating alone won't do. Meditation must end up in action. So Krishna has said earlier, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Meditate upon me, carry on the battle of life, go together. Then only greatness will come. Merely weeping and wailing, no greatness will come to the nation. We have been a weeping, wailing nation for centuries together. For everything there is a weeping. Even in joy we start weeping. Swamiji said, this is not the time to weep, even in joy. We have wept long enough. No more weeping now, but stand on your feet and be men. This is the language in Swamiji's literature. A passage which inspired President Sukarno of Indonesia. He wrote it in an introduction to a book on Vivekananda's teachings in Indonesian language, the release of which took place when I also went there in Jakarta for an hour to Presidential Palace. That particular passage, he liked it very much. We have wept long enough. No more weeping now. Stand on your feet and be men. Yours, Sukarno. That is the passage. And so, this wonderful message will come to us. Our tears will be converted into irrigation for the good of society. Sorrow, suffering, all are there. Why go on wasting that sorrow? Channelize it for the good of people. That's a new message of the Gita, of Vivekananda coming to all of us. So here is that wonderful combination of two energy resources: vision, action, thinking, implementation. They must go together. Meditation and work, they must go together. Krishna, Arjuna, combining in your system to create a new personality in you. And hundreds of you will create this kind of a transformation in human society. And today, such a transformation cannot be merely national. It will be international and human. Day by day, we are going to that international context of human relations. No more provincial, tribal, or national. So this teaching has reference to the whole of humanity today, seeking for a peaceful international order where human beings can rise to the highest level of development, where a philosophy of human possibilities will be there to help us to bring out our infinite possibilities within us. And Vedanta has that wonderful quality, is the science of human possibilities. Vedanta says infinite possibilities are hidden in every one of you. Life must be lived such a way to bring out these possibilities. Vedanta stands sponsor to you in this achievement. That is the message conveyed by Krishna to Arjuna. And the name of that message is the simplest in philosophy, yoga. What did Krishna teach Arjuna? Yoga. That's all. In the beginning also he has said, second chapter. Here again he is saying this, Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Kathayatas Swayam. Krishna himself taught this profound philosophy and spirituality of yoga to Arjuna. And we are to understand it and live it as far as we can. Then great things will come. As I repeat in this Sunday lecture every now and then, if you make a hell around you, you are responsible. If you want to make a heaven, you are only responsible. You have the capacity. It is up to you to be the instrument of creating a heaven around this society of ours. Our people must make that decision. Our politics, our economics, agriculture, industry, administration, business, all must be geared to that one aim. How to convert India into a heaven for all its people. Not a hell as it is today by our own mistake, our own small-mindedness, our own pettiness. That petty man must go. A large man must come on the scene. Man is essentially large because he is the infinite Atman. He is not a tiny organic system. That is how Vedanta sends out this tremendous message of hope, assurance to all humanity. And giving this message, it also sends out a blessing. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapivaran, Nibodhata, Shurasya Dhara, Nishita, Duratya, Turgam Patastat, Kavayo Vadanti. Walking on the edge of a razor, you will be cut to pieces any moment. That is the way of life. You have to boldly enter into that life and struggle, face it with a heroic attitude. Great things will come. Those who struggle, they will get. Those who do not struggle, they won't get. In the early part of the Veda, Yajurveda, there is a beautiful statement. Those who move on, they achieve the best. Those who stay put, they achieve nothing. So, move on, move on, move on. See the dynamics of life you find there. Charaiveti is a message. March on, march on, march on. The sun is marching on, sun is always active, full of energy. March on, march on, march on. It's a beautiful idea. So the Gita gives you the marching order, like an army. When the whistle is given, the bugle is given, army marches. We are in that state. The people become an army of the spirit, to conquer the citadel of truth. That is the marching orders in Vedanta. Vivekananda used this expression, march on, march on, march on. And remember, the Gita was taught on a battlefield by a great hero to another hero. The whole thing is meant for heroic people, to create heroes out of clay. And all great teachers have done it. Guru Govind Singh did it in the 200 years ago. Take ordinary people, convert them into heroes. How did they do it? By this philosophy.